Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week, we're going to join my buddy Jim Walker for some winter coyote hunts in my home state of Oregon. You know, Jim is one of the best coyote callers in the country, and he regularly takes over 100 coyotes every winter, almost exclusively on public land. Needless to say, these are hard-hunted, super wary coyotes, so Jim utilizes every advantage he can, including, of course, HECS technology, to help him seal the deal. I was fortunate enough to tag along with Jim for a day of calling, and as usual, it was an absolute blast. If you like predator hunting, this show is for you, so sit back and relax as we go hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this HECS on.
I've got to give credit once again to HECS.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with HECS.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery. Tough Country, American values forged in steel. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts. Luminoc, light 'em up. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game. Tacticam, share your hunt. Warren Winches. Trophy Properties and Auction. And HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
Well, this year, after the September archery season, things started to slow down for me. So I took that opportunity to take Jim up on an offer to tag along with him on a late October predator hunt. Well, that morning we headed out well before daylight, and when we got set up and it was light enough to see, we were overlooking a big grass flat. Well, Jim likes to use mouth calls instead of the electronic calls that most guys are using. Jim says that it allows him to have a wider variety of sounds and more control to get those call-shy public land coyotes into range. You know, it's hard to argue with Jim's success, and he proved it one more time when we saw this coyote running right into our setup. Well, the wind's swirling here, so instead of coming straight in, the dog swings to our left and circles our position at about 60 yards. Fortunately, that's an easy shot for my rifle. Well, my dog had barely hit the ground when Jim spots a second coyote coming in from the right. Woo! Once again, Jim put us on the coyotes, and our very first setup, we had a double. Well, not a bad way to start a day. This little female. So anyway, nice prime pelt. Looks like probably a pup of the year, but anyway, hey, that's what we're out here for. Getting them done. Jim will go police that one up, and got a double right off the bat.
I'm a huge believer in HECS, and the reason is simply my success in the field. Time and time again, I have things that I just can't explain, and no matter which hunting camp I'm in, I feel like I'm having more opportunities than the people around me that aren't utilizing HECS. The reality is, some animals definitely can sense things that we just don't know about. And with the encounters that I've had, I can tell you that HECS has been my clear advantage. This past year, I got within top pin range on a giant open country bull and just sat there for longer than I was even comfortable for. And when he finally pulled away from that tree and started to come to where he had heard my call last, he literally almost walked right over me. Had no idea what I was, even when that arrow hit, and I'm giving that credit to HECS. During the late season here in Iowa, there's nothing worse than being covered up with whitetails in a ground blind and having them look right in at you. I don't experience that anymore. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding for me. If you're interested in getting the best deal possible, make sure you use the promo code at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to find out more, go to hexllc.com or give us a call at 541-575-HEX.
We'll be back with more Predator action right after this quick break. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. We're curing our cabin fever this week by doing some winter predator control on western coyotes. On the first setup, the guys scored a quick double. Now, let's get back to the action.
Well, I had a great time hunting with Jim, but my schedule dictated that I had to get back to work. So Jim headed out on his own to see if he could put a couple more coyotes in the truck. You know, most of the time, Jim Walker videos his own hunts, and usually he runs 3 separate cameras. Anyone who's ever videoed their own hunts knows how much trouble it is to get the action on 1 camera, let alone on 3. The setups, the movement to get them all running and pointing in the right direction, and all the while using a mouth call and then trying to make an accurate shot is incredibly difficult. But Jim regularly gets the job done, and we are all certainly the beneficiaries. You'd think that challenge would be more than enough for any serious predator hunter, but Jim takes it even farther and tries to take them with a pistol when he can get them close enough. If you watched the show from last winter, we showed you Jim pulling off this amazing feat. Not to be outdone this season, Jim spots a good coyote headed straight at him, and when it looked like it was going to come in close, Jim pulls his pistol and got ready for a shot. Well, that coyote was plenty close enough, but with the cameras running and the recovery dogs ready to bust loose, Jim just pulled the shot. The one nice thing about getting them that close, however, is if you do miss with the pistol, you still have plenty of time to break out a rifle. You know, as recently as 2016, there have been several major new scientific studies that confirm that canines, like birds, actually see electrical fields visually. With the effectiveness that we have seen with canines since we launched HECS back in 2010, it was certainly no surprise to us. In fact, the very first time I actually saw the HECS effect for myself was with my own dog. Even though I'd known this dog from a pup, when she first saw me in HECS, she acted very confused and kind of standoffish until she got used to seeing me wearing HECS. Now we hear these same comments frequently from customers all the time. The bottom line is, if you're a coyote hunter, HECS will be a huge advantage that you simply can't get any other way. You know, Jim uses recovery dogs all the time when he's hunting, and they allow him to put a lot more fur in the truck. But we do get questions about the dog's electrical field with them moving around when the coyotes are coming in. Well, we believe that with coyotes actually sensing the electrical field of another canine, it may actually benefit in these scenarios. It gives the coyote the impression that it's coming into another canine or a coyote and not a hunter. It's really important to realize that every living being gives off a different electrical signal. So, a canine signature is expected by the coyote, but certainly not a human electrical signature. That would be met with a completely different reaction.
The original Hex Suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. The Hex systems consist of 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a Hex pant, Hex top, and Hex head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate HECS products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with HECS technology. All HECS hunting products are now available in our new HECS Style Anywhere and HECS Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester-based cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. The original pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the Hex hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight, stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the Hex grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save $30 on your order of a complete Hex suit. Learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com. There's a lot more close-up action coming up right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with Hex. We're in Oregon this week doing some predator control, and the guys already have several in the truck. Now let's catch up with host Mike Slinkard and see where we're headed next.
On this setup, Jim's looking over a big grass flat. Jim has little to no cover here, sitting right out in the short grass. To us, it looks like he sticks out like a sore thumb, but with no electrical field, the coyote doesn't see him as a threat and comes straight into the call.
One thing about Hex is what I learned 40 years ago about calling coyotes. Rewriting that book, that chapter, that whole chapter about you can't call them across yellow grass, a field, there's no cover in. Sitting down and nothing but yellow grass for cover. It's like I say, I don't leave home without it.
On this next setup, Jim is in the same area of short grass. With cameras rolling, Jim hits the calls, and it's not long before he sees a coyote coming in the distance. Well, this one starts from way out. Jim can actually see him coming for nearly a mile away. It looks like he's coming hard, so Jim breaks out his pistol in anticipation for a close-range shot. Unfortunately, the wind is swirling really badly here, and you can see the grass blowing straight towards the coyote. When the scent from Jim hits the coyote in the face, it locks the brakes and stands there trying to figure out what's going on. You know, it's times like these where the Hex effect is really obvious. Normally, a coyote hits high gear in a split second after winding a hunter, but the confusion caused by Jim's missing electrical field leaves the coyote baffled and gives Jim plenty of time to pick up the rifle and end the encounter.
The wind is swirling pretty bad right now, so I know that he picked up my scent right in here. Picked up my wind, and you know, he tried to veer off a little bit, but he's still able to get him stopped, make the shot less than 100 yards. But I think he would have come right in for a pistol shot if it hadn't been for the wind swirling. I mean, right now, wind's in my face. That's where he's coming from. So, again, I've got to give that credit to Hex, because even though he could probably, you know, he could smell me, he just can't figure out where I'm at or what I am. So just an inanimate object out here with the sagebrush and the rocks and whatever. So you can get your Hex today, and you too can have experiences like this.
Our most popular Hex system is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight, semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing or over the top. It features the patented HECS technology woven right into the material, and now comes in both HECS-style camo patterns as well as solid green. All complete HECS systems include 3 pieces: pant, shirt, and head cover. The shirt is a quarter zip Henley with rugged serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have rugged serge stitching throughout, and the heavy elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, camo gloves made of a lightweight stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. Our versatile multi-rag can be worn in a variety of ways. Of course, all accessories have the HECS grid woven right in. Order now and use the promo code to save $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HEXLLC.com. The coyotes just keep coming. We'll see if Jim can hold them off right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. We're hunting western coyotes this week, and so far the guys have been laying them down. Now, let's get back to the hunt.
Once again, Jim is setting up overlooking a large grassy area, and you can see here that Jim has virtually no cover at all in this scenario. Yet again, Jim is trusting the proven HECS effect to get the coyotes in close. After just a few minutes of calling, Jim spots a coyote running towards him in the distance. Well, this coyote's coming hard, so Jim readies that trusty 22 mag pistol in case it gets in close enough. Unfortunately, the coyote stops just short of pistol range to check out the area. When it decides to swing downwind, Jim picks up the rifle. You know, as you can see, Jim's doing a lot of moving here, but the coyote simply stands there and watches it all happen. You know, this is such a good area that Jim decides to reposition and try for a double. After a few minutes, he notices a coyote off to his left and directly downwind. Well, like I said earlier, normally when a coyote gets your wind like this one did, they're gone in a flash and they don't look back. But over and over, we've shown that by wearing HECS technology, the coyote is confused, and a lot of times they'll hang around long enough to get that shot. Well, more often than not, with Jim shooting, it's the last mistake they ever make.
Well, dogs and I just made the retrieval on this big coyote, another big male. You know, the reason these coyotes are in here because all these cows right now are calving. But as you can see, this coyote actually came in hard right. I couldn't get on him because I moved, and that is the reason. And so did my dogs. He came off the knob to my right, circled around, got my wind, and still didn't boogie. And 9 times out of 10, the coyote smells you, they're gone. In Mach 10, and this coyote just kind of messed around, come in, you know, made about a 230-yard shot. You know, another big male. Gonna take the ride on the Walker's Polaris Ranger this morning.
Electro-reception, that is the ability animals have, what we call their sixth sense, to pick up on our human's electronic field that we produce. So many times I have been out in the field and come across animals, and I've actually tried to stalk in on them to see how close I could get, particularly when I elk hunt. I used to have to kind of find a spot to blend into all the time, make sure they didn't see you because you stood out like a sore thumb. When I started wearing this Hex, I could stand right out in the open. You still kind of want to blend in, but I'm more out in the open where I can get a shot off a lot easier. You just stand there and be real still when they come in, and they look right through you, past you. They don't even pick you out hardly at all. When it comes to turkey hunting, I do a lot of turkey hunting by myself. I video myself, so I depend on the Hex to block that energy field. There's been times when I've been bear hunting, and in my tree stand, I stand up and I'm looking around, and the bears just don't pick me out of the tree hardly at all. Makes it a lot easier for me to get away and film myself again bear hunting. Last fall, 2018, I was able to put the Hex to a real test. I was sitting on the ground and had a whitetail buck work his way right up to me, and I'm sitting out in the open next to a dead burnt tree, and there's no reason why this buck shouldn't have picked me out. I was silhouetted to the side where he could look over and see me, but I had the Hex on. He walked right up there, and I got a 15-20 yard shot off on this big monster in the velvet whitetail buck. You got to try it out and see for yourself the difference it makes. Hex.
Did you know that fox are more effective at catching prey when they line up with the Earth's magnetic field? Researchers observed over 600 attempts by fox to catch prey. They discovered that when the fox faced northeast, they were successful 74% of the time, compared to only 18% when facing any other direction. Researchers surmise that foxes were using the Earth's magnetic field in combination with the electrical field given off by the mouse to help it detect and target its prey more accurately. Hex technology blocks our electrical field and makes us less detectable to animals.
Once again, we've shown you that no matter what species you pursue, Hex technology can help you get closer than ever before thought possible. With more biological data coming to light every year about electrical detection capabilities in both predator and prey species, our experiences in the field wearing Hex technology continue to be validated by proven scientific study. But you don't have to understand all the electrical principles behind how Hex technology works. You can simply put it on and wear it and see the results for yourself. As we show you every week right here on the show, Hex technology will help you get closer and remain undetected longer than you ever thought possible. Give us a call or go online right now and get your own Hex system on the way, or order one for your hunting buddy. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing the limits and bringing it to you each week right here on Hunting with Hex.
If you have an amazing Hex encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or go online. If we use it on the air, you'll be in the running to win an exciting hunting trip with the Hex crew. You can find out more on our website at hexllc.com. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.